Welcome in to another edition of Red and Blue Smoke. I'm your host, Zach Berry. Joining me, as he always does each and every week, Greg Jones of LB's Meat Market. Greg, good morning. Another successful week in Oxford for you with the Rebels winning another home game and getting into the bye week 5-1. Can't beat that, right?
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be pretty, but as long as we had one more point than Arkansas, I think we're good heading into the break. So yeah, we got a bye week and get some people healthy, and who knows with this run, what the Rebs can do.
You got to give the Hogs credit. Could have just lied down and taken it. Fought hard. KJ Jefferson did some KJ Jefferson things. But the defense, man, it was a clinic. Outside of some tackling, they held the Hogs rushing game. I think per rush, I think they were under 3 yards per carry, maybe less than that. And then KJ was pretty pedestrian. He had a couple touchdowns, but they were, they kind of dink and dunk the whole way down the field. I know people are still angry about the tackling and, some little things here and there, but it's just another week when the defense had to get a stop and they got multiple stops.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me was whenever we came out at halftime and they got the 3 and out on our offense and the kind of game slowed down, that's when I kind of got real nervous. I was hoping that we'd take the ball, drive it down the field and be up 24/7 and kind of, put the dagger in them. But whenever we got that quick 3 and out, I kind of felt, something weird was about to start happening. But a lot of character in that defense to come up with that stop at the end. And, it doesn't matter how you win as long as you have a couple more points than the other team. So I know they didn't cover the spread, but it was a good win.
Yeah, for me, I was at the game and a buddy asked me, he said, "Hey, are you, I think it was 2017, 2013. I can't remember. Arkansas took the lead late. I think it was like third quarter. I don't think it was in the fourth. And a buddy asked me, hey, are you starting to get worried here? Like, well, how are you feeling about this game? And I was like, you know what? Like, weirdly, I don't. I felt like the offense was in control, and even with Arkansas getting some stops or turning Ole Miss over on downs, it never felt like Ole Miss was out of reach. It never felt like the game was getting away from them. And I don't know if that maybe has a lot to do with Arkansas and their limitations offensively. I think it also has a lot to do with the defense. They were getting after KJ Jefferson. They had 5 sacks. They had some tackles for loss. I feel like the D-line's getting better with each week. How do you feel about the front seven? I feel like they're improving and kind of getting more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I think strictly Lane goes for it on that 4th down, and he doesn't. If he doesn't get it, he trusts that defense and get them a stop. Bold play, right there at the half. I mean, right there at the half. You didn't get nervous at all when we got stuff right there.
No, because I thought that the play calling was very conservative because Dart was banged up. He got hurt on like the second or third play, but Arkansas didn't do a ton that really scared me as I was watching the game. Like they had to really earn those scoring drives. Like they were having, putting together some.
I think that's why he went for it on 4th down, because he trusts the defense would get a stop. And
yeah,
but yeah, it's stuff like that just makes Lane Kiffin.
I mean, you look at it here. I'm looking at the drive chart. So touchdown drives for Arkansas, scoring drives for Arkansas, 15 plays. Then you've got 11 plays, 10 plays, 6 plays. Yeah. So they had the 1 6-play drive that was when they went up 2017. And then Ole Miss answers 12-play, 75-yard drive in just over 5 minutes. So that also tells me like Ole Miss wasn't going like super up tempo. So I think Kiffin realized, hey, let's just get the lead back and turn it over to Pete Golding in the defense, and we'll be all right. Like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just that was kind of my read, like body language and just the way he was acting and the way the play calling, like the game flow. I don't think he ever doubted for a second Ole Miss was winning that game.
no, for sure, I agree with it. I just, it's always never easy with being a Reb fan.
Well, in Arkansas too. I mean, the scars are the scabs have been picked at for years. But yeah, I kind of felt for KJ Jefferson. He didn't have a ton of weapons. Rocket Sanders still isn't 100%. And then no Luke Haas at tight end hurt him. But Sam Pittman.
They do have a Tesla though.
yeah, they do. Yeah. They had a couple guys step up and make some plays for him. A couple, I guess, quasi, they kind of, put him at tight end, kind of what Ole Miss did last year with Jonathan Mingo and like the H-back. Yeah, Ty Washington had a big game, 7 catches, 90 yards, 2 scores. Andrew Armstrong, 8 catches, 86 yards. So,
it'll be interesting to see where that Arkansas team goes after that loss.
Yeah, man, I feel like it's about to really snowball for Sam Pittman. And I hate it for him. I like Sam Pittman. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a perfect guy for the SEC. Like his style and just his whole vibe, I dig. Like I feel like he
gives off some he gives some Matt Luke vibes for sure.
I mean, I think that's the offensive line part of it, but like he seems like a dude that I would want to like run into at a hotel bar and hang out for like 3 hours. Like he just seems like a good hang. But man, they just get no breaks. I mean, they had
LSU. They've been on the road 3 weeks in a row, so that's pretty tough.
Yeah, you lose at home by 7 to BYU in a weird one. Then you lose at LSU, neutral site A&M, at Ole Miss. Now you go at Bama. Then you come back home for Mississippi State. Then you go at Florida, back home Auburn. I mean, I don't know where the wins are going to come are going to come from. I mean, maybe Mississippi State in a couple weeks. Is this team winning in the swamp? I don't think so. I mean, maybe Auburn, because Auburn might be worse than Arkansas on offense, but it's a tough schedule. It's a tough way to enter into October.
Yeah, I think the Rebs are in a good spot. You got to win against Auburn on the road, but surely you can handle it. Vandy at home, but that A&M game is going to be a big one too, for sure.
Yeah. So what do you think? Halfway point, what's your report card for Ole Miss right now? 5-1, 2-1 in the SEC. You got the tiebreaker with LSU. So as far as, aspirations to win the West, you're going to need Alabama to trip up. But what's your, like I said at the top of the show, someone offered you 5-1 at the halfway mark, you're taking it.
For sure. I would definitely take it. Definitely take it because, you have that Tulane team that's coming off a Sugar Bowl. You didn't know what kind of Georgia Tech team you were going to get. And, then you had an Arkansas team coming at home after LSU. So it's, kind of a tough little schedule. But, yes, I'll take 5-1 absolutely right now. I think, just at the start of the year, everybody had their doubts with the offensive line. It's just it's almost, they don't have any preseason games, so I mean they're competing against each other and everything like that. So whenever you actually get into competition and everything, you find out where your weak spots are. And obviously Ole Miss's offensive line at the start of the year was a weak spot, but you look at the last 2 weeks. I mean, they've definitely come together and coming into a bye week, and you got to give the offensive line credit because everybody, scopes everything that's wrong with everybody. But, the defense was kind of sketchy at first, but, you were saying the defensive line has come on strong. I have to agree. They're flying around. I think there was a toss sweep where there was literally like 6 guys that tackled the guy. I was like, man, it's a good, collective core with the defense. So with the open week this week, get some guys healthy. I mean, who knows? This run can go really good, and you can, have a big game with A&M, and then, say you squeak that game out and have a showdown with Georgia, and it just kind of make it as the SEC championship game for you, because I don't know if Alabama's going to slip up. Milton looked really good last week, but it's crazy how the college game goes. So you always got to play the game, and who knows what happens.
Winning on the road at Auburn is always difficult. It's not been kind to Ole Miss over the years, but just a quick preview here before we hit the break and get into our grub talk. But this is probably as good a chance as Ole Miss has had in recent years. They had a really good shot a couple years ago, and Matt Corral got hurt. But this Auburn team is not good. Defensively, they have some players. I think that's one thing they can kind of hang their hat on, is that they've got some guys that can defend and get after the quarterback, but offensively they're just bad. I'm really intrigued to see how Ole Miss looks after the bye. You have to think they're going to be much healthier. They're going to be really, really chomping at the bit to get a piece of Hugh Freeze. Not that any of these players on this team know Hugh Freeze or anything like that, but Kiffin's had this one circled for a while.
I love that horse reference, a little chomping at the bit. I like that. Yeah, you got to see it's a big game. I mean, both of them. I mean, I'm pretty sure Hugh Freeze circled this game also. So,
oh yeah,
it's a big game. So you just, I think the bye week's definitely going to help. We'll probably come out a little slow, the first quarter, but once we get into the rhythm of the game, I just feel like we're just a better team. We should somehow, some way get a win. It's going to be just like Arkansas. If you can somehow, some way, bend but don't break, towards the end of the game and just have the ball last. Who knows? But it really stings now, because I really feel like we shouldn't have beat Alabama a couple weeks ago. But you can't worry about that. You got to control your own destiny, and who knows? Maybe Alabama might slip up. It's a tough conference, and it's hard to win away. So all you got to do is take care of your own business. And I just think you go to Auburn and handle business, and move on to the next game. You got Vanderbilt, and then the big game, 2-game stretch with A&M and Georgia. So you just got to take it one game at a time and control your own destiny.
Yeah, I think this is where you typically see where defense and run game, those are the two things that people always say travel. So what's it going to look like next Saturday? In my opinion, it'll be a desperate Auburn team. I think they're going to be coming off a loss to LSU. I think LSU waxes them this weekend. We'll get into that in picks, but I think it's going to be a desperate Hugh Freeze, a desperate Auburn that is just going to be scratching and clawing at anything to get a win. But yeah, Quinshawn Judkins going back home to Auburn, a school that never offered you. They didn't think you were good enough. You went to Ole Miss. Now you get to go back home, and you have a chance to perform in front of your friends and family. The defense, Pete Golding, I think they've gotten better just about every week. They've got dudes that are looking more and more comfortable in that scheme. Those two things right there, travel. And then we kind of buried the lead here, Greg, but probably outside of Jackson Dart and the defense as a whole, probably the MVP the last couple of weeks has been Ulysses Bentley. Really been a difference maker. So I think he's a guy to keep an eye on in that game, where he can be a change of pace and really stretch the field and stress Auburn defensively.
Yeah, whenever he can break tackles and get out in the open and show his little shiftiness, it definitely frees up Judkins up the middle also. But, I like him on those screen passes whenever they did back-to-back against LSU. I mean, I like putting him out there because speed kills, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk some grub, and we'll get Greg's thoughts on, in my opinion, probably outside of the holiday season when it comes to food, probably one of my favorite times. So hang tight. Quick word from the sponsors, and we'll be right back.
The College Corner is headed to Oxford. Stop by their new location in the Oxford Commons off Sisk Avenue. They'll have 4,000 square feet of Rebel gear ready for your trip to the Grove. On your next trip to Oxford, stop by the College Corner or our other great locations in Ridgeland and Flowood. Hats, shirts, polos, pullovers, sweats, t-shirts. College Corner has it all. And as always, you can visit us online at collegecornerstore.com. That's collegecornerstore.com. The College Corner, where your game day apparel meets.
Are you looking at cutting your health insurance premiums by as much as 20 to 30%? Are you aging into Medicare and need help finding a Medicare supplement plan? Call Drew Moak of USA Benefits Group at 601-953-8449. Drew is an Ole Miss grad located in Mississippi and licensed in 7 states. He works with the nation's second largest health insurance brokerage with access to 35 different carriers, and he can help you with any of your health insurance needs. From regular health plans to life insurance to dental and vision and even Medicare, he has it all covered. Now more than ever, it is critical to have a health insurance agent who is local and accessible. So call Drew Moak at 601-953-8449 and get your free quote today. Cooler temperatures are right around the corner, and as I like to say, it's the perfect time to play a round of golf. And if you're looking for a premier golf course in Northwest Mississippi or the Memphis, Tennessee area, go to Cherokee Valley Golf Club in Olive Branch, 15 minutes from the Memphis International Airport. With those cooler temps, you might want to stay warm and comfortable on the course this fall. Go in the clubhouse and check out their new selection of outerwear from Travis Matthew and FootJoy, including FootJoy's new lightweight hoodie. This 18-hole par 72 course includes 4 sets of tees to accommodate all players and has 11 lakes, 52 bunkers, and the wide Zoysia fairways and extra-large Champion Bermuda greens and clean roughs make for an excellent opportunity every single time to post a number. If you need a premier golf experience in the Mid-South, go to Cherokee Valley Golf Club. Call them at 662-893-4444 or check them out, olivebranchgolf.com. And we are back here on Red and Blue Smoke. Second segment here, talking grub like we do every week. All right, Greg. I told you earlier today I went for a little bike ride earlier this morning, get the old bones stretched out and get the endorphins going, get the day started. A little chilly. Had to bust out some sleeves. Nice little breeze riding around. So it's getting cold. It's not quite furnace weather down here in the basement. Haven't turned that one on yet, but what's what's your go-to like comfort cold weather meal? Sitting at home. Yeah, sitting at home, you're gonna watch watch some football, or watch a movie, or whatever, what have you. What's like your easiest go-to meal when it's cold?
It's definitely going to be in a crock pot or a Dutch oven. That's for sure.
Yeah,
because I can go. I can feed myself multiple times when it depends on how hungry I am. But I'm a chili guy. I like chili in the crock pot. Rotel cheese. I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. But that chili is probably my best. And then of course I do that pot roast. I'm a real big fan of that short rib. Get like 3 short ribs and then get like a chuck roast and put 3 and season them together. I'll go ahead and give my secret out. Because you can probably find the secret on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But Dr. Pepper is my secret on the pot roast. I'm a big Dr. Pepper guy when it comes to pot roast. So I just do like 3 or 4 short ribs, cut up some good chuck roast, season it with some steak seasoning and peppercini juice, Dr. Pepper. And just go do that overnight. And then when you get first thing in the morning, just go ahead and cut up your potatoes, throw it off in there and kind of warm them up. And because sometimes the potatoes get too soft and you got kind of a mush. I like where you can pick the beef up and throw some potato on it too. So, but yeah, potato and carrots are as you go. But I'm more of a meat and bread kind of guy. Well, not so much. I'm trying to stay off the carbs, but yes, pot roast is a good standby And also, like, that Mexican soup is really good, like with the beans and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
There's some, I think chicken thighs. I think that's a really good thing that you can, because you can make a batch of cornbread with either any of that pot roast. I think we did a Mexican cornbread waffle, and then put the pot roast
Ooh.
on top of the Mexican cornbread waffle, and then put cheese sauce on top of the
Oh yeah.
pot
I love
roast. So
I love that.
if you have a waffle maker, which I'm pretty sure most married men do, because that's something on the what kind of list? What's it called? The bridal
Oh,
list.
like a registry.
Yeah, the registry. Like so, take advantage of that waffle, man. So, well, I love my waffle at the continental breakfast I get every morning. That's great. I've been chopping up some bananas. I've been doing some blueberry waffles and stuff like that. So, but yeah, one time we made just standard cornbread mix. Just dump it off in the waffle maker and make a homemade cornbread waffle, and put that top and put the either that Mexican bean dip, or I mean the Mexican soup, or the beans, something like that, or that pot roast on top of it. It'd be good.
Mhm.
It'd be a nice little meal to have.
Man, I love making waffles. I don't do it as often now because with my kids, timing is of the essence, Greg. So I throw those bad boys in the toaster. They don't know the difference. But yeah, that's like you can get super creative with waffle maker because I mean pretty much anything if it's in a batter you can throw it on there. So, yeah, man, that sounds delicious. That's that's a move right there. Do some kind of cornbread waffle with your chili. Ooh,
What you can almost do, like you can do a pot roast sandwich with that cornbread
ooh, yeah.
waffle. Just kind of break it in half and put a little pot roast on top of it, and then just I'm all about eating with a fork.
Yeah, that I think about that a lot too. Like back in the day, I would defend people who would get boneless wings because I would tell, hey, some people just don't want to get dirty. And that's fine.
Yeah,
Like what you like. Some people just don't want to do the whole wing experience where you need the wet naps and you got to, you know, get up, get up from the table to go wash your hands when you're done. Um, some people are like that with like big sandwiches. Or like I had a burrito over the weekend from old Wiggly's in Oxford. Um, there weren't many options,
how
and
how how was that?
I thought it was great. I love a
Yeah.
California burrito with the fries and everything. Um, and I will say this is contrary to the topic that we're discussing here. It was a well wrapped burrito. It held it had some umph to it, had some gumption. Like it didn't fall apart. Like sometimes burrito, it becomes a mess, and then you just have to have a
Yeah.
fork, and you got to. But anyway, yeah,
See, I would go
sometimes.
walking. I would do walking taco route. That's what I would do. I
Yeah,
mean,
see, man, that's hard to beat too. I love I love a good walking taco. Throw that in a Doritos bag. What flavored Dorito are you going if you're doing that?
oh, I was talking about you can do different stuff. Like you can do a Lay's potato chip with some pulled pork and barbecue and like
Okay.
coleslaw.
Now that sounds good.
Uh,
Oh, like if you did like salt and vinegar chips, you get a little like vinegar,
yeah,
like a
you
okay.
can do a salt and vinegar with pulled chicken and buffalo sauce and ranch, and kind of do like a buffalo chicken ranch walking taco. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see.
I love that.
I'm a Miss Vicky's kind of guy. I like Miss Vicky's.
I do like a good kettle. I do kettle cooked chip. It's not
But yeah, we'll
always my
walk and talk.
go-to, but I like it.
Yeah, you can go a lot of different. But if you're doing straight up like taco style with the lettuce, tomato,
Hmm.
guac, well, I would say Dorito nacho would probably be the best one for that.
I'm a big spicy sweet chili Dorito guy, the purple bag.
What about sun chips? Do you like any
Oh,
walking sun chips?
dog. Now you're talking my language. I
I think a
love
lemon
garden
pepper
salsa.
chicken with that onion, with that French onion chip would
Yeah.
be pretty good.
I'm a big garden salsa, but I do like the harvest cheddar too.
Yeah, I'm heading down to Venice this weekend. I got to take a little care package, and I always put those Sun Chips and Miss Vicky's in there. That's for sure.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up, man. Sun chips are slept on. They're good. I love a
I had
good sun chip.
I had a friend that didn't even know about the spicy or the salsa.
Dang. See?
Yeah, right.
We gotta let people know about sun chips, man. Or maybe we don't, so we can just keep them to ourselves.
Well, there's always a box that has a multiple pack. My mom always gets it because we always try to have chips as an option. But
Yeah.
there's a box that has multi-pack.
You know what,
But I love that French onion. We got to figure something out. Maybe a chicken bacon ranch with that.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Here we are talking about chips.
You could do like a casserole and like smash up those chips and put them on top, little crust.
Man, you can fall into a dark hole in Instagram about cooking and stuff. I had this one that I watched that she literally put the cake batter on top of everything, and she's like, "Don't mix it." And oh man, it was. I mean, I should have clicked on follow her. I totally forgot what her name was, but she had some banging desserts, and I really don't like desserts.
Yeah, I really gotta be in the mood for a dessert, or if it's like a special occasion, like a birthday.
Yeah, like banana pudding. I love banana pudding, like because especially if you can make your own pudding and everything. But I love a good pudding.
All right, so I do have to ask. I don't know if it's controversial. Maybe it is because people have strong opinions about food. But what's your vibe on white chili? Do you practice the art of white chili, or do you stick with just regular, classic red chili powder?
Yeah, I mean, my mom likes a chicken chili that she makes me do sometimes, but I've never done the white chili sauce. But is that that's not mayonnaise based, is it?
No, I mean, so it's like you like some hatch green chilies, white beans, typically with shredded chicken. I like both. I'm not gonna stick my nose up to regular chili, but yeah, I mean, onion, garlic. I like to do with cumin, onion powder, oregano, and then maybe a little chipotle in there just for like
I bet that
heat.
chicken in the garden would be really good with that
Dude, I love white chili. Like my mom used to make it, and I'm a big fan of it. Like my kids love pretty much anything, but like we can do anything with chicken and they'll eat it. And like
I'm about to get on my mom. I'm about to get on my mom. She'll whip us up some white chili. I'll have to see what it's all about. Sounds really good.
And dude, my oldest like loves soup. Like anything with like any soup or like broth, like he loves ramen. So like he's all about like finishing like whatever we make, and then like he likes to drink the broth or whatever. But yeah, man, a good temps getting down into like the 40s now. Man, I love a good chili night. It's tough to beat. I might do that for my chili cook-off that me and some dads are doing in the neighborhood. I think I might switch it up and do a white chili.
Are you going to do a beans or no beans?
Oh, I love beans. I got to do beans, man.
I don't understand why people wouldn't like beans in their chili.
I don't know.
Is it because like they make you pass gas or something? Is that what?
Dude, I don't.
Like that's just an old tale. Like, come on, you have to have beans in your chili.
Yeah. I'm big on that. I mean, if anything, it's just more protein. But yeah, I mean, like for the white chili, like a Great Northern or like a Canna Lily.
Oh man, yeah.
And then maybe do a little white corn in there too. Woo. And then yeah, you just shred that chicken up, throw it in, and just man, you crock pot that, and you can't beat it, man. That's like we talked about that I think last week, where like any type of crock pot meal, you get up in the morning, you get it all knocked out, you put it on low for like 6 to 7 hours, and then it's ready.
Big fan of anything in the crock pot, I promise you that.
Yeah. All right. Final break here, then we'll get into week 7 as another fun week in the SEC. I'm excited. I don't know about you. I love a good bye week. Now it's probably different for me because I don't have to work, but also there's no stress. You just kick back and watch, man. You just kick back and enjoy the games. So let's get into that slate in the SEC, but we'll do it on the other side of this final break. So hang tight. We'll be right back. This podcast also comes to you thanks to Bluff City Advisory Group, Memphis's leading team of finance professionals who can provide advanced assistance with financial planning, pension, and qualified plan support, and business and estate planning strategies as well. Former Ole Miss Rebel and founding partner Ben Still, along with his elite-level customer service team, make it their goal to help you meet the ongoing demands of your financial needs. Learn about this and more at bluffcityadvisory.com.
We've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. Take advantage of weekly blackjack tournaments and a brand new collection of high-end games for a chance at real cash rewards. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in your hands. And the best part is you don't even need to wear pants. Your adventure at the MyBookie Casino begins today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code TOC for Talk of Champions, TOC. That's promo code TOC to secure yourself a sweet deposit bonus. And that's not all, because their revamped loyalty program ensures that you'll be showered with rewards, including free spins, cashback offers, and a host of exclusive VIP perks. The more you play, the more you win. Play anytime, anywhere with the MyBookie Casino. And make sure to check out MyBookie for all your gaming needs at www.mybookie.ag. That's www.mybookie.ag.
Final segment here on Red and Blue Smoke with Greg Jones of LB's Meat Market. Before we get into week 7, I do want to remind you, like I said on the other side, bye week, laid back. You might want to do a big spread for games. You don't have to travel. You don't have to get to the Grove. You don't have to worry about logistics when watching the Ole Miss Rebels. So maybe you want to fire up some food. Maybe you want to get the grill going because, man, it's perfect right now to grill outside. Go over and see Greg. Go over and see him. 2008 University Avenue across from Kroger. He'll get you some steaks, get you some burgers, get you some sausage, all of that. Greg, I'm sure y'all got some stuff working right now that y'all are whipping up. What you got on the menu, and what's the plate lunch situation this weekend look like?
So I just got done doing a bunch of burgers. We just got done doing a bunch of ribeye sausage, spicy ribeye sausage, made a duck burger, made that smoky bacon burger. I'm a big fan of that smoky bacon burger. It's just kind of has a good flavor. It's nice and flavorful, but the duck is very, don't sleep on the duck burger, because if you want to have a really good taco, I suggest you get that duck burger. It's perfect for making tacos. It's real lean and fatty. It's kind of like a mixture of both. So, but yeah, I just got done making some Swayze sausage. I think 50 pounds of Swayze. So hopefully we can go through that in a day or two. So, but no, with that being said, yeah, we got plenty of sausages. Gonna do the lane train. Mama said don't run out of lane trains. So definitely won't run out of the lane trains. And then also on Wednesday and Sunday, we do lane trains 2 for $20. So that's always a good deal. So we'll vacuum seal them up or however you need be if you're traveling or whatnot. But yeah, as far as lunch, just kind of keeping it simple. We do the Philly cheesesteak on Friday. Thursday, I think we're going to do a pulled chicken, a smoky bacon burger, and I don't know. We'll think of something, but hopefully I can get to making some mac and cheese on Friday. But all the sides are pretty basic. We just do the either Sun chips or Miss Vicky's chips or potato salad and baked beans. So you get a choice of 2 of them. But yeah, it's a pretty good, easy lunch. You pick it up and, in and out in no time. And, who knows, you might come across a steak that you can't, resist and take a steak home and just enjoy yourself this weekend on an open week.
All right. Speaking of the open week, other SEC programs will be on the field this Saturday. Let's get into it early. CBS is doing their double dip this week, Greg. 11 a.m. Just getting the snoozer out of the way. Number 1, Georgia at Vandy. Man, what in the world are we doing here? 31.5 points. there's zero chance that I'm touching this because Georgia may just not even care, but there's no chance Vandy covers this, right?
Why would Georgia even play like first string players? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, it's kind of embarrassing, you know. I don't know, man.
Do a 2 quarterback system with the second and third string guys, and just, you know, maybe you let Carson Beck have like 2 drives and get up 14-0 and then pull him. But I wouldn't even let Brock Bowers travel, if I'm being honest.
Oh yeah, we just put him in a hoodie and put him on the side.
Dude, there's no chance I'm playing him more than 2 drives in this game.
Yeah. No, and it's tough because, I mean, you know, nothing against Vanderbilt, but I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad whenever you're thinking about sitting out your players because the other team's so bad.
Yeah, dude, there's no chance. Yeah, again, I'm not touching it with real money, but yeah, I'd lay the points. This has got to be something like a 42-10 game, which I guess would be you know, just a cover, but it might be 49-6. I mean, Vanderbilt has no shot.
Yeah, it's just you feel bad for Vandy, but you know, do they really need to have a football program?
I've been saying it for years. They screwed up. They had their chance. You got to go get a guy that runs the option. I don't know if you can get Troy Calhoun anymore. He's been at Air Force forever, and he's got them rolling again. But I feel like that's what you got to do at Vandy. You can't recruit the high-level athletes that everybody in the SEC can. You just got to do something that makes life miserable for people 1 week out of the year and just take your chances.
Man, brutal.
All right. Arkansas at Alabama, 11 a.m. on ESPN. Man, this is a tough spot for Arkansas. Like you said earlier, they've been on the road forever, and Alabama seems to kind of be figuring things out. If you're an Ole Miss fan, you'd love for Sam Pittman and the boys to show up and hand them an L, but I don't see it happening. Alabama's a 20-point favorite. This is another game I'm not touching. I mean, Arkansas could get squirrely, and KJ could have a day and make some plays, but Alabama wins comfortably, right?
For sure. I think Alabama's just got too much momentum. I mean, you know, Milton had a really good game last week, and you know that win on the road can definitely springboard a team. So who knows? But yeah, I think Arkansas is just out of gas, and it should be rough, and it should be early and often probably.
Yeah, just
maybe a backdoor cover, maybe, but no,
could be.
I mean, the only way is kind of how Arkansas did with Ole Miss, you know, just kind of slow the game down. But it's just, man, I just don't think that works against Alabama.
Yeah, A&M had that game last week. I finally got around to watching highlights because I was in Oxford, so I wasn't able to watch the full game. But man, they had an opportunity to get that win, and they just could not get it done. Jimbo just stuck his nose in that offensive huddle a couple times and just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a tough loss for them, but I mean, still going to be a big game if Ole Miss can run the table. But it's still going to be a tough game to win, even if we did run the table.
All right. Speaking of those Aggies, 2:30 CBS, second half of that double dip in Knoxville. This is kind of 2 desperate teams here, Greg. You've got Tennessee, who had that bad loss to Florida, but they really need this one. They beat South Carolina 2 weeks ago. Kind of a hapless game for the Gamecocks. I was shocked that they didn't show up any better than they did. But we'll get into that later. But A&M's now 4-2. They have really no room for error now with that fan base, that administration, as much as they're paying Jimbo and Bobby Petrino and everything. I've gone back and forth on this one. I want to hear your thoughts. Part of me thinks Tennessee gets it done at home. They're only given 3.5, but A&M is nasty up front, and Max Johnson's not terrible. They've got the skill guys to challenge Tennessee. I feel like Tennessee kind of ekes this one out, but man, gonna be close.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tennessee at home. I just feel like they're a different team, kind of like Ole Miss when they play at home. I mean, this is a team that beat Alabama at home, and they play different at home. So I mean, I know they got stomped against Florida, but I just feel like they're a different team at home. And who knows if Texas A&M did beat Alabama, what this game would be like. But I just feel like maybe a little air out of the balloon at Texas A&M after that loss, and who knows? It's going to be a big character game for Texas A&M because you got to
Yep.
don't have an open week. You don't have Vandy the next week. You have to go to Tennessee. So with that being said, I just think somehow Tennessee gets it done.
Yeah, they're pretty tough at Neyland, and it's 2:30 kick, so it'll eventually be under the lights, and man, that place gets rocking, and it can get a little squirrely for an away team if they can't handle it. All right. Speaking of the Gamecocks that we said we'd get to, 2:30 SEC Network, they host the Florida Gators, and man, this is a big time spot for both programs here, as Florida just got absolutely dragged by Kentucky a couple weeks ago. They beat a hapless Vandy team at home. And South Carolina's coming off a bye here. I like the Gamecocks at home. We talk about Tennessee being tough. Man, it's hard to go into Williams-Brice and get a win. I still don't think Florida's very good. And I think if Dow Loggins can just get out of the way and just let Spencer Rattler do his thing, I'd lay the points here. It's only 2. I like the Gamecocks to win and win comfortably at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Just these home teams play differently whenever they play at home. Obviously, South Carolina's 2 losses are not at home, and they did beat State at home. But with that being said, just they're a different team when they play, and who knows? It might be a blowout, might be a good game, but I know CPS is hoping it's a good game.
Yeah. All right. ESPN, 6:00, Auburn at LSU. LSU pulled that one out of the fire last week at Missouri. Man. And covered. Yeah, I know there were some people that were upset about that one that had Mizzou, but man, I feel like this is a spot where LSU runs it up on them, right?
For sure. Yeah. I mean,
I know LSU's defense is bad, but if anything, I don't think Auburn can score and keep up with LSU.
Yeah, it's you think the overs the play here, and it's a 7-3 ball game at halftime.
Yeah, the total's at 61.
Yeah, you just got to. I think LSU is going to just rake them up, like you said. I like LSU a lot, but who knows? Auburn's a good team. Or is it at Auburn?
It is in Baton Rouge. It is in Tiger Stadium at night.
Yeah, I want to take the LSU at home for sure, no matter how many points it is.
I say I'm laying the points. It's 11. I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a day. I know Auburn's got a good defense, but at some point in Baton Rouge, something's got to give, and they can really, really stress you with that offense. And Logan Diggs is getting going in the run game, and Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas are a handful for people. So I think that LSU wins this one comfortably.
So that's a good jersey combo matchup.
Yeah, because you have to think that LSU will be wearing the whites, and then Auburn will have the navy on. So yeah, it'll be a good matchup. Do they have a name for this game? I was asking David Brandt this on Tuesday, because I know like Auburn would do they would light up cigars and stuff. I guess so. It's not the cigar game or cigar bowl. I guess people call it the Tiger Bowl.
I thought Alabama did the cigars. So is Auburn that did the cigars?
I feel like they've done like victory cigars before. So on the Wikipedia, it's showing 99 Tuberville. They blew out LSU 41-7. And then after the game, they smoked cigars on the field.
Oh,
and then in 2001, the game was originally scheduled for September 15th, but then it was moved from 9/11, so they moved it to December. And in this one, LSU won, and then LSU mocked Auburn by smoking cigars in the stadium. So then
So this is the Cigar Bowl?
Maybe. It might be. But yeah, maybe LSU smokes cigars, maybe they don't. I mean, I know Joe Burrow did some cigars back in the day, but yeah,
he's got some cold pictures of himself. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick of him with the cigar. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I think LSU dominates this one.
Jaden Daniels is awesome. I like him.
Yeah, that dude's a stud. All right, last one here, 6:30 SEC Network. Two teams coming off their first loss, Missouri at Kentucky. Seems like a trend here this week, Greg, where we're just kind of leaning on the home teams to get it done. I'm kind of in that same boat here. I think Kentucky, they're only given 2.5, but I like the Wildcats at K. Roger Field. They're pretty tough there. It's not a super crazy raucous venue to play in, but they kind of have an identity, and I like for them to rebound off of that shellacking against Georgia last week.
Yeah, it would be awesome to go to Keeneland and bet some horses and then go to the UK game that night. That would be a fun Saturday night. I think the Kentucky just get it done at home. They're a different team. You know, everybody seems like they're a different team when they they play at home. You got to take the show on the road and get some road wins, and that's the sign of a better team. You look at Alabama going on the road. It's a big win, but next week with the bye week coming up, Ole Miss going to be fresh, and they got to get that road win next week. So I like Kentucky this week at home.
It's tough to win on the road in the SEC, no matter what the year is. So, all right, that'll do it for week 7 across the league. And we will be back next week talking Auburn, getting ready as the Rebs are on a bye this week, and we'll look to move to 6-1 on the Plains. So for Greg over there, I am Zach. This has been another edition of Red and Blue Smoke. We appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, stay locked in at olemispirit.com. We will have all of the news and notes during the bye week, getting you ready for Auburn next week. Also, be sure like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff on the Talk of Champions podcast network, wherever you get your podcasts. And also hit us up on the old YouTube. Find the channel OM Spirit, subscribe, hit the bell to get the notifications when we have new podcasts come up. And of course, smash that like button. So until next week, Greg, as always, it was a pleasure, and we'll talk then.
Yes, sir.